It all began about 3 months ago when my son Ethan turned 13 and pleaded for permission to start a gaming channel. I know what you're thinking, what's the harm? Kids everywhere are doing it. Perhaps I'm just old school, longing for days when children spent their time outside rather than cultivating an online persona for strangers. If I'd only trusted my gut, maybe everything that followed could have been avoided. Dad, you promised I could have social media when I turned 13. Those earnest, pleading eyes. The same look he'd give whenever he desperately wanted something. In fairness, I had made that promise when he was younger, mostly to end the conversation. I'd secretly hoped he'd find other interests as he grew. No such luck. Then there was the bullying at school, and his lack of activities that brought him joy. What father wouldn't want their child to find something that makes them happy? So I gave in. He created a channel where he streamed games, discussed trends, and performed silly skits. Innocent stuff, really. Initially, I worried he'd be crushed if he didn't get the attention he craved. That concern proved unnecessary. He quickly found an audience, not viral numbers by any means, but he reached around 1,000 subscribers within 2 months. His excitement was palpable when he discussed his content and new subscriber counts. I was genuinely happy for him. Things had been difficult since his mother, Sarah, passed away when Ethan was 9. I still hear the horrific crash sometimes. Metal crunching, tires screeching, and occasionally see flashes of her broken form. Thankfully, Ethan hadn't been in the car that terrible evening. That was our one blessing. The boy needed something positive, we both did, and his happiness brightened my world too, which made it all the more disturbing when one of his followers began leaving increasingly strange comments on his videos. Of course, I monitored his channel, both from pride in his accomplishments and concern for his safety. The internet can be cruel, and anonymity often reveals the worst in people. The user called themselves Sarah's_echo, either an unbearable coincidence or something far more calculated. Sarah was Ethan's mother's name. At first, Ethan didn't notice. The comments, while unsettling, weren't explicitly threatening. Just bizarre, disturbing poetry scrawled beneath his videos like digital graffiti. Game the play, same you stay, change never comes. Cold dark corner, faceless wanderer, waiting for mercy. I thought they might be song lyrics, cryptic, perhaps edgy, but harmless. Until I read, no exit from the digital realm, final resting ground, humanity undone, waiting in twisted metal. My blood ran cold. Something felt terribly wrong. I considered turning off comments entirely, but when I mentioned it, Ethan's face fell. His eyes reflected a familiar emptiness I hadn't seen in months. There are tons of nice comments, Dad. Don't let some random weirdo ruin everything. He was right. Most messages were supportive and encouraging. Ethan dismissed the strange ones as meaningless. Just some random person. I convinced myself it was probably an automated bot. Or maybe a troll with poor taste. Something mindless, harmless. That was my gravest error. For a while, the user seemed to disappear. Their strange poems vanished. Ethan returned to his usual self, or so I believed. Then I noticed the change. He became withdrawn, quiet. The spark that had reignited was beginning to fade. When I finally asked what was wrong, he wouldn't meet my gaze. "The weirdo is back, Dad," he whispered. "They're talking about Mom." I checked the comments again. There they were, new messages, more explicit, more personal, more horrifying. "Ethan, it's Mommy. Have you seen my face? This missing sweetheart. Mommy needs her face. I think my face might be somewhere on the pavement near Pinewood Avenue. Would you look for me, Ethan? Ethan, honey, I'm so cold. Won't you come warm Mommy with your strong arms?" I stared at the screen, my heart pounding. This wasn't random. This was targeted, personal. It had to be someone who knew us. My mind raced. One of the kids from school, one of those bullies who had tormented him. Driven by anger and fear, I called every parent I could reach, demanded answers, accused, pleaded. Most were shocked by my suggestions. Some were offended. None provided help. I hit a dead end. Frustrated, I clicked on Sarah's_echo's profile. No biography, no links, just 2 short video clips. thumbnails shrouded in grainy shadow. Something about them felt wrong, like the air before a storm breaks. My cursor hovered over the first one. Click. The video opened to near darkness. Barely audible at first. A low, wet static crackled like something breathing underwater. Gradually, the scene materialized. Trees swaying eerily in the wind, their branches moving like spectral limbs. The camera was handheld but unnaturally steady, gliding across cracked pavements slick with rain. Then the sound came, not from the camera, but from within the video. Deep, guttural whispers, almost mechanical, repeating something over and over. I leaned closer, straining to understand. "Find me here. Find me here. Find me here." The camera tilted upward slightly. I felt my blood freeze. Pinewood Avenue, the exact corner where Sarah had died. But that's impossible. No one else had been there that night. No one could have filmed this. The lens moved closer to the ground, focusing on something just out of frame. Red, formless, organic. Bits of torn fabric clung to it like wet paper. The video froze just as something slick, pulpy, and disturbingly human began to come into focus. The screen pulsed. I closed it immediately, but something pulled at me, some terrible curiosity. I clicked the second clip. At first, nothing but darkness. Then a sharp, metallic screech tore through the speakers, like brakes locking before impact. It faded into gurgling, wet breathing. The camera jolted on, and I saw her face, or what remained of it, flattened like a mask, stitched with shadow and road grit, fragments of bone visible through shredded skin. One eye was gone, the other dangled by a thread of tissue, twitching gently, watching me. Dark fluid oozed from her nose. Her lips separated with a sickening, sticky sound. Then the mouth moved. A whisper rasped through the speakers. Dry, brittle, childlike. "Ethan?" Then louder, cracked and unnatural. "Give mommy a kiss?" As the voice distorted, it divided into several, some sounding like an adult's mocking imitation of a child, others like distant echoes of Sarah's laughter. The screen warped, pulsing like a heartbeat, the face pressing closer, closer, then both eyes, hollow, ruined, focused directly at the lens. No, not at the lens. At me. I slammed the laptop shut. My breath came in short, ragged gasps. Cold sweat soaked my shirt. My pulse hammered in my ears. What I had seen defied logic. Couldn't be real. And yet, I knew it was. After the panic subsided, I considered my next steps carefully. That second video, her face couldn't have been real. Shouldn't have been. But something deep inside me knew it wasn't just a prank. Not just some troll with a grotesque imagination. The movements were too deliberate, too knowing. Couldn't sleep that night. I stayed up replaying everything, every comment, every sign of Ethan's fading happiness. Then I did something I hadn't done in years. I opened Sarah's old laptop. It had remained in the attic since the accident, collecting dust and forgotten memories. Something compelled me, maybe desperation, maybe a touch of madness. I turned it on. The login screen greeted me like a ghost smiling through time. I tried the password, Ethan's birth date. It worked. The desktop loaded slowly, glitching slightly, as if the machine hadn't quite forgiven being abandoned. I browsed through her folders. Photos, work documents, bookmarks. All ordinary, all familiar, until I found a folder I didn't recognize. It was named Whisperbone. Inside were audio files, dozens of them, unlabeled, just timestamps. I clicked the most recent one, dated 2 days before her death. It was a distorted recording, static-filled. Sarah's voice was faint, but unmistakable. Ethan was talking in his sleep again, but it wasn't his voice. A pause, breathing. He said things about a place with no windows, no sky. A cold place, under wires and lights that hum. Another crackle, then a whisper, not Sarah's, cut through. "You're not meant to be listening." I yanked the headphones off. My heart raced. What had she been recording? More importantly, why? I returned to Ethan's channel. The comments were gone. All of them. even the supportive ones, as if someone had erased everything. But his subscriber count had jumped drastically. Tens of thousands now. The number increased in real time like something feeding off the screen. I opened his most recent video. The thumbnail showed Ethan smiling, holding up some trendy energy drink for a review. But when I clicked play, the video began with Ethan silent, staring at the camera, expressionless. His skin looked pale, wrong, and the audio was warped. Low hums, reversed murmurs, like the soundtrack to a nightmare. I swear I heard Sarah singing, somewhere beneath the muffled audio. Then, a voice, distorted, overlaid his silence. "Keep growing your audience. Make mommy proud." I skipped forward. The screen glitched. The background behind him shifted just for a frame or two, from his bedroom to something else. A dark corridor, a glint of metal, a shape suspended from the ceiling. The video ended abruptly. The comments were disabled. I checked the upload time. It had gone live while we were sleeping. Ethan swore he hadn't posted it. "I didn't record that," he said, voice shaking. "I swear, I didn't." That night, I heard whispering from his room. Not him. A woman's voice. It was singing. Something slow and wet, syllables dragging like something heavy across rough ground. I opened his door. He was sitting upright in bed, eyes closed, as if sleeping, yet he was smiling. From the shadows near his desk, the screen of his tablet illuminated by itself. The wallpaper had changed. It was her face, what remained of it, chanting in an impossible language. I felt the only option was to shut down his channel. I struggled with the decision for days. Every night, I hovered over the laptop, eyes moving between the latest comments from Sarah's Undercirco and Ethan's hopeful, eager face. Part of me demanded to end it all, to delete the channel, to protect my son from the growing darkness seeping through those comments. From whatever wanted to harm him, the twisted messages were poisoning him. His laughter grew less frequent. His eyes dulled with every weirdo poem or chilling line about his mother. But Ethan begged me not to. "Dad, it's my thing. It's the only good thing I have. Please don't take it away." I saw the fear behind his plea, the fragile hope that still clung to those subscriber milestones, the fleeting moments when he felt like himself again. I wanted to shield him from harm, but I couldn't steal his last source of joy. So, I allowed the channel to continue, promising myself I would protect him in other ways. But that promise was empty. One night, after the channel's comments section was flooded with another wave of Sarah's Underscoreco's sick rhymes, I suggested again that we shut down the channel, permanently this time. Ethan's face fell, his smile breaking like glass. "Please, Dad, I need this. Just a little longer." I swallowed the lump in my throat and nodded, my heart breaking. But the nightmare persisted. The next morning, Ethan came to me, voice trembling. "They found me on Instagram," he whispered. "Same username, same creepy messages. And then on TikTok and Snapchat. No matter where he posted, no matter how often we deleted accounts or changed usernames, Sarah's Underscoreco followed. Like a shadow with infinite reach. Like a storm that never ended. The messages evolved, adapting to each platform's format, but always with the same chilling undertone. Personal, knowing, cruel. I realized then the truth I didn't want to face. This wasn't just about a gaming channel. This wasn't just some anonymous troll. This was a relentless personal hunt. And the entity wasn't going away.